Welcome to All Indefinitely, interviews and insights to empower you to achieve personal and professional success through friendships, relationships, and marriage. Here are your hosts, Anwar and Siana.
Hello, welcome to another All Indefinitely episode. It's so nice to be back. How are you today?
Good. I got my tea ready again. We've been doing tea every month, every show now.
Yeah, I personally don't like coffee, so.
Oh, I love coffee.
Yeah, but you're all worried with your attack that you had a couple months ago and all that, so now you don't drink coffee so often.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm drinking tea. I don't know if I should drink tea. I know what you're referring to is like, so when if you've ever had like like a acid reflux, you believe that you're getting a heart attack.
No, I believe
I was getting a heart attack. I was like, this is it. I called the ambulance. I was like, I'm gone. This is it. I was getting a heart attack. It was not that. Just too much acid reflux.
He had just eaten so much.
Yeah. So
he has a very good friend who's a foodie.
Yes.
And it's great to have that type of friends around, honestly.
Yeah. He's a foodie. He cooks very good food and you want to eat it all. And sometimes you got to watch all of that.
So we have a very interesting topic today and has nothing to do with food. Well, maybe. And it's, do opposites attract or should I find someone like me? What do you think about it?
I feel like some people get this mistaken all the time. And do opposites attract or should I find someone like me? As if there's a choice between the two. Mm-hmm. So let me just clarify something for you real quickly.
Okay.
Opposites attract and also people like you're attracted to also.
Okay.
Okay. So I think what people mean by that is like, this person is not like me, but it's kind of like there's different kinds of attraction. There's sexual attraction, there's intellectual attraction, there's someone that's achieved something.
Yeah.
There's many types.
Yeah.
And people think that you have to choose one versus the other. If you choose someone that's not like you, and this is my opinion, I don't know what you think. Mm-hmm. If you're choosing someone very opposite than you are, that's the short-term relationship. That might be only a couple of days.
Yeah.
That's not going to last very long at all.
Yeah.
And the reason why is that, and I've seen a lot of research on this, and this is, I'll have to share some of the links if I can get them together in time before we air this episode. But the more you have similarities with someone, the longer and more prosperous your relationship can actually be.
Right.
The less you have similarity with someone, the less you will be. It turns into a point where it's just all animal reaction to somebody. But there's a lot of sayings I grew up with saying opposites attract and you should,
well, that's physics. It's actually science, but it has nothing to do with personality.
Right. I don't know. I don't think they're talking about science when they're talking about that. They're talking about
exactly.
like when you hear that. And I've looked at a lot of people before and I'm thinking, what do they have in common? Like that's when I meet people, I first ask myself, I do this all the time now. It's crazy. I analyze everyone's relationship. It's funny. I will tell you something, I have to get back on my diet. So
we're doing this about food again.
We're doing it. We're making it about food, but I had to get back on my diet. But I was just saying, when I started losing weight, I was counting all my macros and counting all my calories.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Right?
Yes.
And you remember I would eat around you, and I was like analyzing how many calories you're consuming at one point.
That's so annoying.
Well, I thought it was very creative. Like I can look at food and guess the calorie count and see how many calories you're having in a certain time.
It is awesome, but keep it to yourself.
I want to analyze people's calories. Well, with nowadays, I'm not analyzing people's daily calorie intake because that's not what I'm doing at the moment. But right now, I'm with the show relationships. I want to see what do they have in common. What are some things that they like to do, and it's fascinating. It's been fascinating to see. I met a wonderful couple recently, and I don't want to mention their name or anything. I haven't talked to them yet about it.
Yeah,
but they are a great couple, and I want to have people on the show that actually have great couples. I don't want anyone to think that this is a show about just about what doesn't work and whatever the case may be, and how. This is a show about how to be the best person you can be for you, and allowing that relationship, can come and go. But this other couple they seem to be doing great. And the woman was in education for years. She's a graduate degree, and the man has his own business. The husband has his own business and then it got to a point where he says, why don't you just come and work with me? And she left her job. She wasn't happy with her job, and so she left her job, and now they work together. So now they're very similar. This couple is an awesome couple because they like the same things, they do the same things, they enjoy the same things, and you could just see the happiness that they thrive in. I actually want to learn more about them. Likewise, I have friends that have differences. Like they're completely different, and they you can see that they share nothing alike. The husband in one case likes to go out all the time, and eat out, and she likes to eat in all the time and stay home. And you ask yourself, well, where did this relationship develop, and how did it develop to a point where they're just completely opposites,
right?
And they're staying together. So, I want to say that my initial response to the question is, remember why you're in a relationship in the first place. You're in a relationship because you admire something about this person.
Yes.
And you are fascinated by something in this person that you want to learn more about and ultimately making yourself better being around this person. So understanding obviously if somebody he doesn't have to be like you, or she doesn't have to be like you, but understanding what it is that you admire, you want to learn or gain from them, is a good point to even have in your relationship. But to find somebody just to go with your gut, which means go with your animal instinct in a lot of cases, that can get you in trouble. Because what ends up happening is, if you meet someone on Tinder, or you meet someone online or at the club or by the bar, you're meeting this person, and you're having this kind of like this animalistic sexual drive that can be great for the moment, but can get you in trouble in the long run. So in the start, obviously you can be attracted to both people of opposite than you and similarity to you, but it all depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a great time, and you don't care to have a routine or relationship, then opposites can definitely attract for the night. Opposites can attract for the night. That should be the statement. But for any kind of growth and personal growth, which is really what you really want, is to invest your time and have personal growth and flourishing, that should center around having good relationships with people that have similar interests, or at least have a similar fascination that you have.
I think I'm gonna I wouldn't say disagree, because I'm kind of in between what you just said and disagreeing with you, because I do think that opposites are good. It depends first and foremost on the situation. Like, for example, to use my example, where I am right now, like, I don't think I could date another law student right now.
Okay.
And I feel that personality-wise, you want to be with somebody who balances you, like who, you know how annoying I get when I'm hungry, because I've been here.
Okay.
And you don't want somebody who gets as annoying when hungry, because then that would be...
I'm not confirming that or denying it.
That would be a really bad fight. So you want somebody who's going to come to you and say, okay, what's the big deal? Let's cook. That's fine. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking with when it comes to opposites attract. I think that's what people mean. Like, it's not, there are other things in life that you want to have in common. Like, for example, we were talking before in the previous episode about routines. You want to share something with your partner because you want to be able to enjoy your time. But now that's different than, like I said, personality, because you need somebody who will help you get get better. And sometimes, or most of the time, it's not somebody who thinks just like you. So that's where I disagree with what you were saying. And
can I just say something real quickly?
Yes.
Because you mentioned something like, and this is very common. Like, if you're a lawyer or you're going to law school, and it's exhausting on your mind. It's constantly there. You're having these conversations. The last thing you want is to have someone that's doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So you never get a break from the whole scenario.
Exactly.
Right. I get you. What you mean by that, but that I wasn't really talking about the actual profession itself.
No, but not only that, but personality, like I was mentioning too, because I wanted to get there. Like, I don't think two people with the same ambition would thrive in a relationship, because I feel like, for a relationship to actually help the growth, it has to be maybe at times, So when we're both, and I'm thinking about, again, my experience, law school, I'm going to law school and my partner wants to go to med school. I think that's a relationship that wouldn't work out, because, like, we're both so busy and so stressed out and so, with such complicated lives that we won't have time for the relationship to even like cool down and say, let's just relax.
So you mean like to take a break?
Exactly.
Okay. Let's back up a little bit. Okay. Because what I was more referring to is, like, you're taking on a lot right now. Of course, you're helping with the show, which is so valued partnership with this, and amongst all the other things that you're doing. I know that you're also training for the half marathon. You're going to school. You're doing internships for law. I mean, you're taking on a lot, as well as being a great wife and brother to your sister to your brothers, which, I mean, it's enormous. Having said that, the reason why you are doing this in the first place is because you're heavily ambitious in the way that you want to be an independent person that can thrive in your life. Now, let's say Peter's the same way, or whoever spouse. I'm not going to pick on the husband now or say anything. They also want to see the same things. They also want to do the same things. They also want to live a certain way, And when by that I mean like if you want to live in a house with a picket fence or, a couple of dogs, versus I want to live in the middle of the city and in a high-rise building. Like, what I'm saying similar and opposite is more the bigger picture and not the individual routine.
Okay.
Because right now, obviously, Peter's not going to law school now, your husband now, but maybe 2 years from now, maybe 3 years from now, he says, yeah, I definitely want to do that. It's more important to understand what kind of person that you want to be around. And I was more referring to, like, does this person get the big picture of what I love to do?
Okay.
And what are your top 3 priorities in life?
Well, first, my health.
Okay. Very good.
Mostly. And my family well-being, including my parents, my siblings and all, and school.
Yeah. And so your personal health is a very, very important topic to you. I know you don't drink a lot. You don't,
no.
I never seen you do any drugs.
No.
I don't. And like you said, you're a very family oriented person with your parents and your siblings, your brothers, and law school, which is more of professional aspiration.
Yeah.
So you have those 3 things. Yeah. So let's say, for example, if you were to talk to someone like a spouse and they say, well, family, it's not really important to me.
Exactly.
I just don't, I can see them once a year, and maybe that's a little too much. And they say, they have this mentality of, well, health is somewhere important right now, but I got to live now. I got to enjoy life now. Yeah. Try some hallucinogenics, which I don't judge anybody, by the way. I'm like, hey, do whatever you want to do. Someone that says, I'm kind of good at where I am in life. I don't care for any career aspirations. I kind of want to make enough to get by. So what I'm saying is, in that case, city versus suburb, or ambition versus find where I am, which is fine too. Or family oriented versus non-family oriented. These things have to, for a relationship to last a long time. I find that it's better when those are very similar.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be that relationship that you just described would be a great friendship, because I do think that having people who think differently than you, it's very good for yourself. But no, it wouldn't work out as a relationship. No, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, I just want to say something that very easily people can constantly change. So you can find someone that's very similar to you in one way, and they gradually turn. Their curiosity takes them to places that they never been to before, and they change from a person that they was to somebody that they are.
Yeah, and that's
you're
great.
You're no longer similar. You're opposite. But what that also means is that means that this person is going in a different direction than what you're going, and
that's why I started with it depends on the moment, because like you said, maybe at that time you're great together, but maybe 2 years in and you're different people. You know, like we change every day.
Yeah.
You know, and it took, for example, to me, like when I was, studying to go to law school and all that, it was a very, very stressful year for me. And in general, because I was also going to undergrad. And I remember talking to Peter and asking him, like, don't you want to do more? Like, don't you want, because he was playing video games every night. And at first he was like, kind of like offended, like, oh, well, is it because I'm not enough? Or, he probably felt that because I'm, trying to going to law school and all that, like I was thinking that he wasn't enough. And that was not the case. I wanted him to be his best persona, like the best person he could be. And eventually he understood, and he actually, took courses for what he does, and he felt way better with that change. So we could say that Peter is not the same person as 1.5 years ago, and I'm pretty sure he feels great about it, and I think that's what a relationship is for, to push the other one to be the best person they can be.
Definitely, it's something to consider when any relationship you have should be like with that, what you just said, to kind of encourage you to be the better version of yourself, and also when to give up too. And I want to say this, like there's some people will like having a good advisor will there's some things that it's okay to give up on.
Yes.
Bad habits, things that are not working out, friends that shouldn't be around you.
Yeah.
Having a good spouse with you can let you know these things. But it's a toss up too, because what are they valuing? And I know there's been cases where spouses just want everyone away from you, and then they can just have full control or full say so over your life and the people you're social with. But it's kind of important to understand why the similarities are better for you, because if you're aspirational and if you're trying to do something to get better than you are, having people with that same similarities is going to be a good thing for you. If you're someone that's going in reckless and doing a lot of reckless behavior, I would define reckless as knowingly damaging yourself, professionally or personally or health-wise. Having friends like that can also make you more reckless.
Yes, exactly.
More similar than that. So ultimately, your own personal progress depends on yourself. But choosing a mate that's assuming that you're doing a lot of productive behaviors that you're very proud of, that you feel good about, that you wake up in the morning and you feel good about, then you should have somebody that was similar to you.
I think it's all about balance, like everything in life, like you need to define whether what you're doing it's good for yourself, like you said before, and maybe this person is pushing you to, like maybe this person is too ambitious. And you just don't want that. You just don't want to be better. Like you said before, I'm okay where I am. Why would I try to, do anything differently, And maybe your partner will not understand that. And maybe that's the moment where you guys achieved divorce,
Yeah. I mean, it's just a fascinating way to think about things, is like where you start off.
Yeah.
And if you're starting off a relationship struggling to find the similarities, you're probably in a more animalistic kind of sexual attraction, and you're not really paying attention to a lot of things going on. But if you're about human flourishing, I would go towards the point of finding similarities that are productive, that you feel good about, and having your relationships live in the way that you are productive and you challenge each other to be better versions of yourself.
Right.
And if you're not having a relationship like that, then you should be having one like that. Something to really consider.
Yeah.
So we can get to the question that we have that's sent in by Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's like similar to what you're doing. I'll read the question.
Okay.
I've recently passed the Florida bar and I'm now a licensed attorney. I've worked very hard to get to where I am. I feel it's the right time for me to find someone that's at my level so that we can be a power couple. What's the best way to find that person at my level of success?
I would first ask Ryan, as an attorney, what do you define as your level of success? You know, like when you ask about that, like when you talk about power couple, a person that's at your level, how? Like,
well, first of all, power couple is 100% a perception.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because I mean, are you a power couple like, Jeff Bezos or like Oprah Winfrey, or are you a power couple like that's a very, very funny conversation. And I don't even know what power means. I don't know what level means in this case, and I definitely don't know what power means in this case. But I would assume by that Ryan is asking that I have a professional license. Mm-hmm. I have which means I earn a good income. So I would think level means income level.
Yeah.
Social status level, because attorney has a still great social status.
Yeah.
For the most part. Sometimes debatable, but it's for the most part, a high social status. I would believe it's like more on that level. Like you put your money together with another person's money, and you guys have a lot of money and social status and professional respect in your careers. So, and what should he do? First of all, I don't think that I don't like the word levels.
Yeah.
Because it only defines, like, some people need to realize how embarrassingly limited we are.
Yeah.
On survival. You may know one good thing. You may be the best attorney in the world. But if you're stuck on a mountain somewhere and you're with a survivalist that knows how to like capture food, cook, do all this stuff, then your degrees don't mean a thing.
Exactly.
And your license don't mean a thing.
Exactly.
And your idea of levels.
Yeah.
Don't
your
exist.
level of success there is really low.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we depend on each other so much.
Yes.
In so many ways.
Yeah.
That I don't really connect with the word level.
Yeah, no.
Do you want somebody, before I go down my rabbit hole too far? How do you feel like does your spouse or future spouses or whatever have to be at your income level?
Oh no, not at all. No, I don't. That's not something I care about. It would be more important to me that my spouse helps me grow.
Okay, but let's talk about
become a better person.
Let's talk about like I don't know, friends that you have in law school, or perhaps friends that you have growing up. They don't say, "Hey, just get somebody that has a lot of money. He's at a high level."
Yeah, I mean, not to me, but I've seen that before. I've seen even parents telling kids, "Oh, you got to find somebody with money and just get married and have kids." Yeah, I've seen that.
But this whole idea of power couple. This is something that comes up a lot, by the way.
That's a social construction.
It is completely.
Yeah. What is a power couple? I believe that you can see two people work in. I'm going to use the example you were talking before with me. Owning a hot dog stand in a corner. That could be a power couple. Maybe, they didn't have anything, and the only savings that they had, they put it together to buy their own hot dog stand, and that's a power couple to me.
So two people flourishing is a power couple.
Yeah, flourishing together.
I don't think that Ryan is asking that question. I
know, and I'm sorry, Ryan, but
I think, Ryan, if you're listening, you're asking the question to say that, in the way I read it, is kind of like you're a professional, you have social status, you have high income potential, and you have education.
Yeah.
And you want someone that also has stated education. We're going to call that college degree.
Yeah.
Which has also a license of professional status and also makes your same level of income or higher. I'm assuming those things. Those are some of the least, if you had to write down the most important things, Ryan, of what should you focus on?
Yeah.
those will probably be the least. If you have a lot of income and you have education, you're looking for how you can grow. And the questions you should ask yourself is not someone that's making the same amount of money as you, so you guys can just put your money together and be like a power couple where you can afford to buy more things or accumulate more jewelry or nicer cars or things like that. I don't think you're going to get a lot of you'll get there. I've gotten there before, and you'll find out how worthless those things are.
Yeah.
And instead, I would focus more on your personal. You've done well for yourself, and you're a licensed attorney. Very great, very good accomplishments. I know that you can tell me a lot about the journey you're on, the journey right now, but the idea of power couple is something that makes no sense to anyone. You should look for people that you admire.
Yeah.
Have people around you that you admire,
and admire you back.
And admire you back.
Yeah. Do you feel that a relationship, like, partners should be cheerleaders in a relationship? How do you feel about it?
Cheerleaders in what regard?
Helping, like, cheering your partner up, like, yeah, what you're doing is great, like, keep doing it, let's go, things like that, like encouraging you to, if you're doing something that they believe is right, keep doing it, or helping you change your path and do something even better, or you think that should come from you or maybe your friends or family, but not your partner?
I don't feel like your partner has to necessarily be your cheerleader. I do believe that your partner shouldn't hold you back.
Okay.
So they shouldn't be somebody that as a detriment to you.
Yes.
Now, whether they are a cheerleader for what you believe is good, that's up to you.
Yeah.
And that's up to them, because it could be good, it could be bad, whatever they're cheerleading. It just shouldn't hold you back for somewhere where you're trying to accomplish something.
Yeah.
I know my parents, when my mom came here, and she worked at Burger King when she just came from Guyana, and they're immigrants from Guyana. My parents are both immigrants from there, and my dad was working at Home Depot, and my mom decided she wanted to go back to school. She's like, I never got my education. I want to get my education in the United States. And she took her 14 years to get her bachelor's degree.
Wow.
Now, a lot of times it's a sacrifice, even going to school like that. And they only had one car at the time, so she would have to catch public transportation to college and to work, and have 3 children.
Wow.
I don't know how she did it. She's a superstar. But there was several times in there where she had to take several semesters off, because my father was like, hey, you're going to school here, and who's going to cook and who's going to do these things, and you're not my dad was never a cheerleader for her to go to college, and she finally graduated college 14 years later. She got her bachelor's degree from FIU, and she became an English teacher, and she taught at Miramar Senior High School until she retired. And she loved her life after she started being a teacher, because what she really loved was literature.
Yeah.
And she loved to talk about literature, and she likes to the play. She would read books all her life. This is what all she did for entertainment. So then when she was able to teach other people about Shakespeare and literature, she had so much fun doing it. So, and I'm proud of her. So sometimes, the person that you're with doesn't have to necessarily be your cheerleader.
Yeah.
You should own that you get it done on yourself. I don't want anyone to come away thinking like, well, I got to surround myself with cheerleaders.
Yeah.
But I want people to own their own success.
Yes.
What I don't want is when you're trying to do something productive for you, that someone isn't holding you back.
Yeah.
That's when it's time to move away from those kinds of people.
Yeah. It's totally true. I asked that because I consider you a cheerleader. You're one of the best cheerleaders around me, but it's true. It's definitely true. And nobody should rely on that either. Like you shouldn't feel that you need the, validation for anybody else. As long as you feel that, like what you're doing, it's what, makes you feel great. And obviously it depends. There are, extremes that you don't want to go, but yeah, like if you're okay with that, you should be able to move on and as long as, like you said, somebody's not holding you back. I'm really appreciative of Peter because of that, because he's a very good support for me to go to law school and all that. So, yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, we have to get him on the show because we talk a lot
We
about
talk
Peter.
a lot
we gotta,
about Peter.
We got to have him on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, email us. You can find the link. And you just want to thank our sponsor, American Worldwide Academy. If you know anyone that needs help getting their high school diploma or career training certificate online, visit careerhighschool.com.
Or call 305-456-5948.
Well, thank you.
And thank you.
I was going to say that. Thank you, guys. See you guys soon. Take care.
You've been listening to All Indefinitely. Help us spread the word by subscribing and sharing the show.